Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this new video. This time I want to talk to you about the Social Engineer Toolkit, or SET for short, and how it applies to your organization and how you can use it for a network or IT best practice within your organization. So let's talk about what social engineer is or social engineering. There are different definitions, and when it comes to cybersecurity or information security, we can say that social engineering uses psychological manipulation to trick users into making security mistakes or giving away sensitive information. That's one of the definitions you can find out on the web. Another definition from WebRoot is that social engineering is the art of manipulating people so they give up confidential information. And another definition from Kaspersky is social engineering is the manipulation techniques that exploits human error to gain private information, access, or valuables. Um, at this moment, we can say that social engineering is tricking the human factor that is behind technology, right? When it comes to implementing security controls within your organization, you implement your security controls, but also you have to make sure that you train your users because most of the successful cyber attacks and security breaches occur because a human interaction took place, and that was because the user was tricked into doing something that they would not do otherwise. So there is the social engineer toolkit. As you can see it here, this is straight from the source. These are the creators of the social engineer toolkit. As you can see here, it was created by Dave Kennedy, who is the founder of this company, cybersecurity company, and they have created this Python-based framework or toolkit that can be used for testing and research purposes within the organizations. Obviously, as you can imagine, this can also be used with malicious intent, or it is being used by hackers and cyber criminals because this is an open source solution. Now, again, as I said before and as I described before, uh, security by obscurity is not real security, right? Some people are saying, "Oh, why are you talking about these things? Are you teaching hackers how to do and cyber criminals how to do this?" No, the information is there. People can do whatever they want to do with the information they find, but you as a network administrator or an information security engineer for your organization need to know what's out there, how to use it, and you can also use this toolkit to run um, information security training within your organization. You can do a training to test the security awareness of your users by creating, let's say, a phishing campaign and see what the reaction is, right? So you can do this within your confinements to assess and evaluate your network security. So let's go over this. You can download this directly from their website and follow the instructions. So you could go to GitHub and download it right from there. If you come down here, you'll see that it is the operating system supported are Linux and Mac OS X experimental. I never ran it on Mac, always on Linux. And these are the instructions. So let's go over the installation and we'll do a couple of examples to show you how you can implement this within your organization. So in this case, I have a Parrot security installation here running in one of my VMs. But I'm almost sure that if you have Kali Linux, the um, the toolkit comes pre-installed with it. That's not the case with Parrot, at least on this version of Parrot. So I'm going to show you how to install it and how to run it, and it's going to be super simple. So the first thing you want to do is open up a terminal window. Let me just close this. They call it mate. So you come here, you want to run this as root, right? Yes, that is correct. So I'm fine with that. Let me just click on OK. And as you can see, let me, I am in my home directory of Horher. So the first thing we want to do is you could, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to download it. You could download it anywhere you want. I'm going to download it in my root folder, right? So I'm going to make a directory for that. And once I'm there, I'm gonna go to that directory. And once I'm done here, I am going to download the toolkit into this folder, and then I'm gonna proceed to install it. Once you are in the directory, you wanna type in the command to download the Social Engineer Toolkit. Let me paste it in here. So this is the command, but you can get it directly from GitHub, or you can download the Social Engineer Toolkit automatically in a zip file. So I'm just gonna come down here. Here is the command, so I'm gonna go into that directory. I like to be up there. So as you could see here, you have your files. Let's do a cat readme. You're going to have instructions of how to download it and install it. As you could see right here, you have to install the requirements and then do the setup installation. So let me go back to the previous screen. Let me just close this right here. So based on the instructions, we have to install the requirements. So let me go. Um, so this is going to take maybe a minute or two. I'm going to pause the video until it is done. Okay, the installation it's done, right? So the next step, if you remember from here, is to do the setup installation. So we're going to do python setup.py, and that's not going to work because I have to use Python 3. So let me come back here and run this. This is going to take another minute or two. Actually, it was super fast. Another minute or two. It is done. So let me clear this ls. So we should be fine. We should be ready with the requirements and the setup. Now we're just going to run it, right? So let's do set toolkit. And as you could see, it shows you a screen. The social engineer toolkit is designed purely for good and not evil. Remember Uncle Ben in Spider-Man, with great power comes great or greater responsibility. So again, this is for internal testing and researching purposes within your organization. In my case, within my organization or lab. So I'm going to say yes. And once you do it, you're going to have menus to follow, right? And this is where it becomes interesting. And as I said to you before, if your goal is to run a security awareness training within your organization or to test the security awareness acumen or knowledge of people within your organization, you can do this. Now that I think about, if you have to run a security awareness training within your organizations for compliance, let's say HIPAA or PCI or anything else, you may not really want to use this because you want to use a commercial solution that's going to provide information about the security awareness training campaign. In this case, you'll be doing everything manually within your organization, right? And if you do it manually, it's good, especially if you want to do like spear phishing or some type of testing, but it's not something that may be scalable. But again, uh, it is a best practice to do this on a regular basis to test your security measures within the organizations. So, what are our options? We have social engineering attacks, we have penetration testing, and we have third-party modules. So, let's concentrate on social engineering attacks. So, you would select one. And then from here, you have the options of spear phishing, website attacks vectors, infectious media generators, so on and so forth. You know how to read, so you can go through the list. So let's go into the website attack vectors number two. And once you get here, you're going to have another set of options. What is it that you would like to do? Java applets, Metasploit, browser exploit methods, or credential harvester attacks. Now, all these are valid and important tests that you can run. In this case, for the sake of this video, I am going to select credential harvester because that is one of the most um, common types of attacks, and that way you can see how to implement this within your organization for testing purposes, and how when some users receive a suspicious email, it may be designed in a similar framework like social engineering or something else with the intention of stealing um, credentials, right? So I just wanted to show you two sides of the coins, how the attackers create that and how you can know about the type of attack so you can implement the proper training and security controls within your organization. So let's go to number three. Right here, another another note is like if you want to go to the previous screen, always press 99. So let me go to option number three. So once you are here, what is it that you have? You have site cloner, custom reports, or you have web templates. So let's use web templates for 1 second and see what's in there. Okay, so pay attention to this because this is going to define how you are going to configure this testing or testing environment for this type of attack or training, right? If you're using an external IP address, you need to place the external IP address below, not your NAT IP address. Additionally, if you don't know basic networking concepts and you have a private IP address, you will need to do port forwarding to your NAT IP address, blah 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 blah. This is how you will successfully configure this type of attack for testing purposes. In this case, my goal is not to trick all the users, but to test the security controls and the security awareness training to see if users, when they receive an email or a link that looks suspicious, if they are able to identify that and maybe reach out to the help desk or to the information security department asking if this is legit. Uh, that again, like the goal of this video is not to show you how to craft this exactly to uh, catch people, but rather to show you the overall security controls and how it works. If you need to craft this in a more detailed way, you can definitely do that. And it tells you right here what you need to do and how to do it. You may have to do one or more two things if you want to make it super um, realistic. Maybe you would like to install a certificate that is valid so you don't get the uh, the certificate errors and all that. But you can figure that out. So for testing purposes, the IP address, I'm gonna leave it as this. Actually, let me just like type it. Sometimes um, 172.16.5. What is my IP address here? Actually, 171, right? And then what type of template do you want to use? As you can see here, you have three predefined Java required Google or Twitter, so I am gonna use Google number two. And this is the best way to use this attack is if users and password from fields are available regardless of the capture post, blah blah blah. Now, in the background, this template is already running. So let me get a browser window from another computer and I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. So I'm gonna bring back this, right? And I said before that the template and the attack is running on 172.16.5.171. Again, this is an internal test. If you want this to be more realistic, you have to do some network configurations and it'll show you right there how to do that. So once you do it, you'll notice that it shows me a template of what Google looks like. As you could see, this is the IP address of the remote host. And also, as you can see here, this site is not secure because it has an invalid certificate. So if you go to Google right here, you'll notice that you don't get that because it's got the valid certificate, right? So let me come back. So let's say that you want to do, you want to log in. Remember, what we're doing is harvesting credentials. So as soon as that user types in credentials to that page, it's not going to authenticate anywhere, it's just going to time out. But if you go back to your configuration, you'll see the email address and the password that was typed in the credentials box. So you're harvesting credentials. So that is one of the many ways you could use Social Engineer Toolkit to test the security posture and training of employees within your organizations for your internal security controls. As you can imagine, and as you saw, this is a very simple but yet effective test that you could do and you can run within your organizations. Obviously, you have more settings in here. Let me go to the main menu. If you go to social engineering, you can do even more than that and you can expand into what you would like to do. So, what are the takeaways from this video? Number one, always have an information security awareness training within your organization, even if it is something that you do um, yourself. Let's say that you set up a Zoom meeting with your organization or you record a video. Just educate your users. Not everything that they receive, as you know, is going to be legit, especially if it is an uncle that is trying to contact them to give them $20 million, right? Just click on this email to contact them. So we'll get those a lot. Number two, even though this social engineer toolkit offers you the ability to do testing, depending on the size of your organization, it may not be scalable for you to use this as part of an information security campaign. It's a lot of work and you don't have the metrics and it's good for you to do testing and perhaps spear phishing, but not something that you want to do broadly, right? Unless you have a small organization, like a few, maybe 10 people, 20 people in there. Um, and you can create a spear phishing attack, or you can create a more sophisticated attack or test by implementing the right networking and configuration settings in here. So I hope this video was useful to you, that it opened your eyes if you didn't know about this, and that you can see how crafting emails can be something that attackers can use to perhaps avoid security controls and going down for the weakest link out there. So as always, if you found this information useful, just click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. Let me know you are there. I love creating this video and getting people's feedback and sharing knowledge, because when we know more, we all grow together. You have a great day, and I will talk to you on the next video. Have a good day.